mental health for sure, and Dina talked about it today in the webinar that she led. So in response, she reached out to epidemiologists, those that are experts in aerosol spread of infectious disease, and they developed a guideline for how to safely hug. And I'm not sure that, although it was helpful, I'm not sure that this made me feel any better, because these were the pictures. This was what appeared in the New York Times. Do not hug cheek to cheek. That is, it's got a red X, that's forbidden. Do not hug face to face. It's not allowed. But you are allowed to hug. You can kiss your grandchild on the top of their head from behind. Oh, who can wait to do that? Or you can hug facing opposite directions from each other. That's allowed as well. Tuchus to Tuchus was a whole different article. That wasn't the New York Times. I'm not old enough to read that one. You can let your grandchildren or your children hug you around the waist, as long as you're breathing over their head and they're breathing off to the side of their hips. And they're short, right. And I appreciated this, I really did, because as painful as it was to read, what it showed is that human beings, as we know, we're social animals. And the hardest part about this is that part of us that just needs to touch and needs to connect. And that will come back. I don't think that the hug is gone, or the handshake, maybe, I don't know. But I don't think the hug is gone, but it's also not given away for free anymore. And the other side of this is, as much as the memory of hugging my grandparents was so important, I also think about how many hugs I've wasted. Not on any of you, but you know, the people that you would just hug in a greeting, just whatever, you know, or the handshakes or the kiss on the cheek, just because it was the thing to do when you walked in. And now we really think about it, like, who is in our double bubble that now gets a hug, right? You know, who have we allowed ourselves to kiss on the cheek? And maybe that's necessary too. Maybe the value of these things had become so common, just like when you would say to somebody, how are you? And they would say, fine. And neither of you were expecting any different response. And now there's some thought behind it. There's certainly emotion behind it. And I think that that's a blessing. I think that that's a good thing. I can't wait to give out those hugs again. And I'm thinking of the list, like who makes the list of who gets the first hugs. And even if I don't get to give them for a long time, really wonderful to think about who's on that list. And maybe we can't hug them, and maybe we're not going to make the hug glove with the sheet right away, but we can call, and we can FaceTime, and we can make some other way of connecting. I think what we've learned throughout all of this is who's really special in our lives, and also how special we are in other people's lives. I hope that you all have somebody that you want to hug, and I hope that there is somebody out there that wants to hug you. And my prayer is that we get to hug each other sometime soon. Shabbat Shalom. So we're going to take a minute to acknowledge those who are sick and in need of blessing at this time, and offer a Misha Beirach, a prayer for healing. We have the list from the synagogue, but you may have names that you want to share as well. So on this Shabbat, we think about Beckett Alexander Williamson, Angela Bodetz, Dr. Kuko Norchoyo, Denise Huguet, Ronnie Goldberg, Andrea Jarzabak, Ari Schwartz, David Lowen, Sherry Lowen, Jeff Lowen, Raymond Mayer, Maureen Newman, Florence Baton, Esther Weinstein, Neil Tapley, Ellen Barbary, Bella Sherman, Michael Cavell, Yana Timko. I'll mention Sarah Chiachi, who's across the street and wasn't able to walk across tonight. Anybody have a name you'd like to add for a prayer for healing?
Torsten Berholsten, who lives in
So let's join with our cantor. The Misha Beirach's in a box at the bottom of that page 2.
Misha Beirach Avotenu Or Avraham Le'avotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before
rise for Elenu.
לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצר הארץ משה יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושבינתו זו בקרבי מרומי ואלוהינו אינו אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו כך כתוב בתורתו ידעת היום להשיב אותו אל לבבך כי אדוני הוא אלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחתינו אמר חי אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You can be seated for a moment. I'm going to read the names for Kaddish at this time. It's loved ones who are here, but whose memory is, whose presence is felt. You know, throughout this pandemic, we've still been reading the names of Kaddish at our minyan and our Shabbat services, even though we haven't been able to gather together, and so many of those family members are not able to stand in synagogue to say Kaddish. It's a really sacred thing that we do and that we're doing here tonight, that we only limited this to 40 or so people and lots couldn't come out, that we still say the names of their loved ones, that people know that even though they're stuck at home or not able to be here, that their synagogue and their community is helping to remember their loved ones. It's called a shlichut. It's a sacred mission, and it's wonderful to be able to fulfill that mitzvah. So on this Shabbat, we recall a blessed memory: Robert David Barry Bullock, Annette Krieger, Maxwell Cutman, Herbert Lewis, Russell Remick, Rosalind Schwartz, Kobe Schuster, Sharon Singer, Elsie Surlong. And those for whom the Yortzeit, the anniversary of their death, is on this Shabbat: Sadie Abelson, Miriam Bookbinder, Ruth Codron, Fanny Kahn, Pearl Crystal, Gloria Epstein, Marcus Eskenazi, Bessie Gladstone, Naomi Groper Steiner, Rosalind Groschler, Asser Harowitz, William Karlinski, Sylvain Katz, Ida Kay, Robert Kemeny, Larissa Kozakov, Adam Langsley, David Littner, Alan Mandelman, Efim Matyukov, Leonard Mishler, William Muchner, David Niddickman, Ida Austri, Isaac Parker, Isaac Jack Perrell, Doreen Rhine, Gertrude Sandin, Fanny Shannon, Gordon Slobin, Emil Wenner, Miriam White, James Wilson, Louis Duncan Zacks. There's others that have come to say Kaddish names that you'd like to remember. If you could rise and share their names as well. So we look around, we see those that are stood in mourning. We don't want them to stand alone, so we'll rise, stand by their side, providing the comfort of our presence as we recall all those who died in defense of freedom and justice, those victims of terrorism in the land of Israel, here in Canada and around the world. Those who died in the Shoah and the Holocaust have no family left to remember them. We call them for blessing as well. Page, it's right there. Yid Gadal, Yid Gadash, Shemei Rabbah, Yama, Divrach, Yerutev, Yamlich, Malchuteh, V'chayachon v'yomechon u'chayei l'chol Beit Yisrael, V'agala b'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shmei l'kudesha b'richu. Ve'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Daminron be'oma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'imrumav. V'yaseh shalom aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn comfort all the bereaved among us, and we say together.
Shalom bimroma, Uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimroma, Uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei b'ri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu